Okay, so this series sort of started because of one of the participants from my investing course, Jia Hong. He had a few questions outside of investing, right? Especially when it comes to content creation, starting a side hustle, and then maybe developing that, that traffic you're getting into a business, whereby you're able to try and do what you love for a living, and monetize your passion. And that sort of topics, resonates with me a lot because for myself, I'm very lucky that I'm able to do what I love for a living. And so I thought of answering, all your questions on YouTube. And when I sent an email out to all of you, and asking like if you have any questions, I'll answer on YouTube. Over 50 questions came in. Some of them are interesting, some of them are extremely tough, but I'm going to try my best to answer all of them while I'm here in Japan, right? Okay, so for Jia Hong, he has a question, right? And it is regarding content creation and how I eventually turn it into a business. So his question is this: how do I start writing content or short posts on Twitter or creating video content? I want to make something unique, but I also don't want to, step on your toes as I develop it along the way. So this one, so the biggest challenge when it comes to creating content is not really the lack of ideas. Most of us have an abundance of ideas, but it is our expectations of ourselves, that sort of prevents us when it comes to publishing this content. Right, so for myself, I have this fear when I first started. While I was still working in the public sector, I was wondering like, what if I publish and then my colleagues laugh at me, my friends laugh at me, I sound stupid, so on and so forth. But the truth is, the content idea is there, but our own voice shut it out before we could even put it out there. So for myself, I first started publishing all my ideas anonymously, right, under the name Steady Compounding. After 2 to 3 months, there was a bit of validation by what people are reading on my blog, on social media, etc. That's where I, slowly gained the confidence to start publishing under my own name, right? And here's the thing. Even until today, whenever I publish something, there will always be the nagging fear that it is not good enough, or that I sound stupid, or or that whatnot. But the truth is, we are going to be our harshest critic. And the only way to get better at something is to suck at it first, right? And so just start today, and then you'll see where it can carry you. And if you're uncomfortable with beginning, like me, right, you can always do so anonymously first, right? To be honest, the biggest tragedy when it comes to creating content is not that people will laugh at you or what, is that it become crickets after you hit the publish button. There's no responses, there's no views, no nothing, yada, right? And yeah, don't worry about stepping on my toes or anything, because when it comes to doing work, especially digital work, right, the market is huge, and I don't believe in a zero-sum game. I feel like there's always ways we can help each other, or people can help each other, and you sort of attract the people with a positive sum mindset into your life when you approach life that way, right? If we always think life as a zero-sum game, then it's going to be quite a sad way of doing things. And the only reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing today is not just because of me putting the work out there. It's also because a lot of people help me, right? People who are a few steps ahead of me, who are willing to give me the opportunity, help me get the exposure, people with bigger traffic sharing my stuff, right? And okay, so the next question is, how do you get a sense of what your audience want, right? The only way to know what your audience want is to go for a large quantity of publishing at the start, right? Because when you are first starting out, I think the biggest mistake most people make is they decide on their niche a bit too early. Right, so when that happens, what you are able to provide might not resonate with what the audience want, or it could be the way you are presenting what you are providing. So what you want to do at the start is you want to cover a wide spectrum of your interests, and then double down on what works. try different content delivery style, right? If you notice my writing, I have many different voices, because until today I'm still experimenting with what resonates with people and what doesn't. And so when you're first starting out, to find out what your audience want, always go for huge volume first, and then look at data, right? Look at the feedback loop that social media is providing you, and that's the beautiful thing about creating content, because you get immediate feedback loop. And the key to becoming successful in anything in life, not just content creation, is to always learn from your own feedback cycle, right? When the data comes in, ask ourselves what are insights we could get from this, and what is it that resonate with audience, what is it that made this piece of content not successful, right? And from there you double down on what works and then eliminate what doesn't, and then over time, like building wealth, this skill also will compound throughout time. Okay, the next question: how do I remain consistent once I start, whether in good time or bad times? The key to doing this, for myself, is you need to have a system in place. So when it comes to creating content, I usually do, I block out maybe 4 hours once a week, and then I start writing everything I need to publish for the entire week on Twitter, right? And throughout these 4 hours, it's uninterrupted. Nobody can disturb me. Even if I have no ideas, I can only stare at a blank piece of paper until ideas come, and then I start writing. This method, I actually stole it from a few script writers, those people who write for professional television. Because when it comes to idea generation, to be honest, there will be times whereby we hit the writer's block. But what stops most people from overcoming this writer block or generating ideas is some people allow themselves to actually, be distracted by perhaps Instagram or distracted by YouTube, for example. And what we want to do is we want to isolate ourselves and block out these 4 hours. We can't do anything except coming up with new ideas. So I hope that has been helpful for you and others who have been watching this. There's still a lot more questions. If you want to follow on along all these questions, there's a lot of questions on investing, on options, stocks, and also how I actually try and go viral and on social media, etc. And also definitely some productivity tips as well. If you want to follow along, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. And if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and comment, and I will try and answer them as soon as I can.